So, last month I went to a game jam at my local university. It was my first one. I've actually been to two more and actually managed to win one of them with two random dudes. Download link in the description. And since I've been studying game design for a few months already, I decided to give it a shot at my university where people are actually real good at this. But for those of you who are unfamiliar with what game jam is, you simply get together with a group of people and have 48 hours to make a game and release it in that time. There is also a theme that the game has to be somehow built around. So my plan was just to grab a group of friends and go give it a try. We ended up being a team of 3 designers. I'm not saying that was necessarily a bad thing, just having an artist and a programmer is always a plus. On our way in, we got introduced to what the theme was for this year, and it was what home means to you. To my surprise, it was a whole sentence, not just a word like in the times that I participated, but that wasn't a problem at all. Our entry fee was 50 euros, which consisted out of 2 breakfasts, 2 lunches and 2 dinners. The first dinner was okay, even though the only thing that I could recognize in it was the chicken. I didn't film it at all because at that time I wasn't sure if I'm gonna film anything in that game jam, but I started filming a bit later. After that, we went over to the second floor and found ourselves some tables that were going to be our home for the weekend. When we were done setting up, we started immediately to sketch and write stuff down so we can start off the process. We decided to make a storytelling game that has gameplay similar to the intro one in Firewatch. We also decided to take our time and separate the roles between each other. I was assigned to do the blueprints, Mika was doing the narrative and Yuli was doing the art. After a couple of hours of work, Mika already had some examples for playable narrative, and I built a level with art I got online while waiting for Yuli to finish ours. In that time, I decided to be productive for the team and started walking around the room to get some ideas from other teams. I stumbled upon a game idea on a whiteboard. It happened to be about a cat and a mouse. I don't know how that involved the team, but I needed to know what my enemies are up to, so I decided to keep an eye on them for the rest of the game jam. The other team in the room was full of programmers, and one of the guys was blueprinting on a giant touchscreen monitor, which was maybe the most programmer thing I've seen in my life. At the end, around 4 AM, we finished up what we were working on and went to sleep under the tables. We woke up at around 8-9 AM and we went straight to get breakfast. The breakfast for this morning was bread. It was bread. After that, Yuli was ready with the character assets and I started importing them into the level. I should take my time now and explain our idea for the game. It was a storytelling game that follows this pattern: gameplay, where the player walks around a level, then narrative, with options to get you immersed into the gameplay, then gameplay again, and then narrative again, and so on until the end. All this to tell a dramatic story of a guy who had a rough childhood around his parents' divorce, but still decides to go home to them. A typical fun game jam game. While we were eating our next portion of bread for lunch, we were talking about how a 2D game would require more time to be made than a 3D one. So we made a decision to switch to a 3D game 24 hours into the challenge. So for the rest of the jam we were trying to figure out how to build the gameplay with 3D elements and connect it to Mika's narrative. At the end we didn't manage to do that, so we were left with a narrative that played out like a PowerPoint presentation. 30 minutes before the deadline I had to scrap a quick trailer for our game that will be shown later, link in the description, which we submitted last minute. And after that, the fun part started. It was finally time for everyone to walk around the university and play the games the other teams made. Our first player was a guy from our class. He seemed to enjoy our PowerPoint presentation and there didn't seem to be any bugs. When he was done, however, he said this.
That's depressing.
I mean, I know that this was the purpose of the game, but we just gave this happy young man depression with a game jam game. After him, another girl decided to play, so I had to ask her the most important question.
Was it depressing?
Nothing good. Yeah, but I didn't get.
Like, I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing anymore. We just gave another player depression, but at the same time that's the purpose of the game. That aside, at least we had adults playing our game, not like the stupid cat and mouse game played only by kids. Dumbass cat and mouse game. But beside that game, there were also games like Prison Break, the game, that one map on Smash Bros Ultimate, Need for Speed, Carpet Edition, Room Cleaning Simulator, another cat game for kids, and I found this guy in one of the rooms that was dancing and wearing weird ass sunglasses. Like, what kind of a game is this? Where's the keyboard and the mouse? Anyways, after my walk around, I went back only to see the guy from our class betrayed us and was playing the cat and mouse game. Like, I started considering him a friend of mine, but after such backstab, I can't really call him that anymore. I couldn't just stay and not do anything, so I decided to take action and went to play the game, only to roast the guys who made it and show them how awful their game was. Almost a minute after I started playing the game, he interrupted me and started showing me how to play. Like, doesn't he realize I'm a gamer too? I know how to game pretty well. A bit after that, I managed to finish the first day without any problems.
You're throwing the food. Next day starts. Just wait till you see the cat.
All jokes aside, I really liked their game, it was pretty fun, and I even ended up giving them my vote.
There you go. Thanks, bro.
No problem.
It's very nice.
No,
That's cool.
the face of an epic gamer.
That is right, Mika. This is the face of an epic gamer. So yeah, that's my experience in the 2019 Game Jam. Even though we didn't manage to make a game at the end, we still did learn a lot that will be probably beneficial for the future. Also, the reaction when they showed our trailer was pretty cool.
Don't worry.
And yeah, if you guys like this video, like it, subscribe, do everything that you want to do. And since I haven't uploaded in many years, I want to give a shout out to a very small channel called Zushi Wii. Go subscribe there. So yeah, that's it.